Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Swiss Army Dan coming at you with another Swiss Army knife video. Today, people, I just wanted to show you my latest acquisition, which is this Victorinox Evolution Wood 10. And I'm really excited about it. Been wanting one for a while. Obviously, these are wood scales on here. This is real wood, it's walnut. And not only does it look cool, it just has a great purchase. You get a really good grip with these wood scales. So this is going to be the descendant of the Winger Commander. It's part of the Victorinox Delamont collection. And so let's just get into it and see what tools it has. In the Delamont collection, Victorinox did replace the old Winger lobster claw style can opener with their can opener, which a lot of people prefer because it adds another tool here with the screwdriver tip to this tool, which can also get into a lot of Phillips. I'll compare it to the Winger can opener in a minute. You get the Winger style cap lifter, screwdriver, wire stripper, which does have this locking. I don't know if you can tell, but when you're putting pressure down here, it pushes this tool into the scales a little bit, so it locks as a safety mechanism. So that's cool. Next, this one will have the large blade. You can see the Delamont under Victorinox Swiss made here. No tank stamp on the back of these. And back here you get a nail file, nail pick. And I've said it before, I really like this design because the file surface, like the knarl emery board type surface, is facing out this way so it doesn't chafe your blade here. And furthermore about this, I've come to the point where I really appreciate the knives with the nail file in this position and feel like I don't really need a backup small blade here. Another reason why I prefer that is usually I'm going to have a 58mm Victorinox on my keychain, which will have a small blade if I just need, like a tiny blade for small tasks like opening a package or whatever. On the back, you get the corkscrew and the reamer punch all with a sewing guy. I was looking at the Victorinox website, and they actually classify or name this tool now punch, reamer, punch, and sewing all. They don't say sewing eye anymore, they say sewing all. So that was an interesting little discovery I made. And the corkscrew, you've heard me say it 1,000 times now probably if you watch my channel, but I really prefer the corkscrew. It's a super useful tool apart from just uncorking wine. It gets into little crevices, cleans out things. It's great for untying knots. I've seen some more survival kind of base videos that show putting this corkscrew into a piece of wood and then extending. This one doesn't have a saw blade, but you could even do it with a large blade. Screw this into a piece of wood and use it as an extension to a branch or something to get up into a tree or something like that. I found that with these 85mm, the older round mini screwdrivers fit in there a little bit more than the newer ones, which have like a hexagonal shape to them. But you can just push that thing, you can twist it a little bit deeper into the corkscrew with these older mini screwdrivers. So that's what I put on here. but great snap on this. It's a lot like the old Vangers. They didn't depart too much. Like the notable changes from the old Vangers are that can opener, as I mentioned. The Vangers scales would kind of wrap around here on the liner, while Victorinox will just be flush with the liners here. I'll show you an example of that here. Here's an old Vanger, and you see how the scales will wrap around a little bit more. See what I mean? So yeah, this thing is a descendant of the Vanger Commander. This is a traveler. I didn't have an old school Vanger Commander currently. So, you know, it started looking like this. And then when Vanger introduced the evolution scales, they'll look like this. Nice feature on these is it says Vanger right here. So yeah, here's the, you know, the great granddaddy, and then they moved on to this Evo grip, like these ergonomic design scales, or I should just say evolution scales. Then they've got the Evo grip scales. Vanger did this too. I don't have any of those, but I've got a Victorinox adaptation of that. That'll have this like gripped surface on here. The purchase on these are great too. I think I do prefer the wood scales. They just feel better, like, you know, that has that grippy surface here. But I think with the wood, there's even less chance for slipping, and just increases the comfort, I think, with this one. So I am preferring this one right now. You know, the Victorinox equivalent of this knife, you know, outside of their Delamont collection, will be the old Sportsman. And if we compare the tools here, they're very, very similar. The major difference here is Victorinox will stick with their style of the cap lifter, screwdriver, wire stripper, while the Delamont collection will have Vanger's old version of that same tool, which is just a little bit different shape. A little bit more metal in this one, right? A little bit more material, but they both work really well. Must say that the Victorinox, you know, gives you a little bit more space here. Might make it easier for stripping a wire. The can openers are identical. They're going to be exactly the same with the Delamont collection on the Victorinox knives, while the Vanger can opener, it's going to look like that. It's going to be here, let's get this evolution scale one out. So that's how Vanger can openers, you know, ended up before they were absorbed into Victorinox, and pretty marked difference between the shape and utility of these two knives. You know, with the old Vanger can openers, it kind of doubled as a small blade. It's useful for scraping, and also just like opening packages, kind of like that small blade utility that you get with this can opener. So a lot of people really like this can opener for those reasons. So back to differences between the Sportsman and the Evo or the Evolution 10 is the Delamont collection kept that Vanger style blade with a bigger belly on it. Victorinox will still have a stamp on the back. This one's a little bit older. Now it'll do away with that crossbow and just say Officier Suisse on the back. And like I said, there's nothing on the back of the Delamont collection. No back tank stamp on there. The other difference is with the Delamont collection, they adopted the Victorinox reamer punch style, which will have like a sharpened edge here, which the Wenger does not, and it has the hole for the sewing eye. A cool feature on the old Wengers is you could access that reamer punch right here with a little relief cut in the scale, which I think is a great feature, but Victorinox did not adopt that part. But I mean, you can still get in there this way without opening the can opener. A little bit easier to get to that tool with the old Wenger style. Just accessing it right there. Other notable difference is Wenger, I've got two tweezers in this one, but the Wenger scales are accessible here, while Victorinox, when they adopted, you know, the Wenger style, they changed it to the same way that Victorinox places their scale tools. That way they're interchangeable too. But like I've said before, I think I do kind of favor this, or at least like the existence of this other version of how you get to the scale tools and the position there. So back to this thing. I mean, wow, it's gonna be it's gonna be high up in my EDC rotation. I think this wood, it kind of goes with everything. It's like, you know, a gentleman's knife. It's kind of rustic looking. Really excited about this, and like I said, I'm gonna start carrying it a lot more. I was really excited when I got this thing. This thing is really cool looking, but this one, you know, it doesn't look so, I don't know, sporty. It looks more just like a gentleman's knife, and I dig that about it. I don't know what else there is to say about this. You know, I should note that these Evo scales do not have a little hole for the straight pin right there, but you know, I think I'll be fine. I can get by without that. And look forward to carrying this thing. What do you guys think? You favor any of these styles? Why or why not? I'm really digging this. Maybe one more thing I should note is the size of the tools on the Delamont collection. They're a little bit thinner than Victorinox, and I think that contributes to differences in the snap. Usually you'll get a little bit better snap with Victorinox, like a stronger feeling and louder snap. You see that the blade is thinner on here, as well as the liner or the spring, but still a very satisfying snap with the Delamont collection. And just such a handsome knife. I really like that engraved Victorinox emblem there, and it kind of makes me want to get more of these. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you're all doing well. Like, comment, subscribe, and just remember to be kind to each other. Swiss Army Dan is out.